Hello and a very warm welcome. It's time for the first match of this blockbuster Saturday to begin. It's being played at the Brabant Stadium between Gujarat Titans and Royal Challengers Bangalore. That's right, Hardik Pandya reaching another milestone of playing his 100th match in the IPL versus a team that is struggling at the moment. Then can they come out of this rut? We will discuss this with Nikhil. He's here with me as well. But the news from the Brabant Stadium is that Royal Challengers Bangalore have won the toss and surprise, surprise, they have opted to bat first. That's right. Faf du Plessis at the toss saying that he is in fact changing that trend and wanting to bat first, given that this is a day game and he feels that that players do get tired in the second half of the innings. So Royal Challengers Bangalore winning the toss, opting to bat first, and like I said, big milestone for Hardik Pandya playing his 100th match in the IPL. At the toss, he was slightly emotional, saying that that this is in fact something that he thought about today itself. He's talked of how he started in 2015 and from there on feels proud to have come this far, and why not? How good has Hardik Pandya been in this tournament? His first season as a captain of the side, he's leading from the front, scoring runs, highest scorer for the team, and that's how good he's been. Now for Royal Challengers Bangalore, there is one change in Mahipal Lomror. He's come in place of Suyash Prabhudesai. That's the one change for Royal Challengers Bangalore. Then for the Gujarat Titans, there are two changes, one forced one. Yash Dayal out with a niggle, which is he was bowling well for them. So yes, that is one change, and then the other, Pradeep Sangwan is in place of Yash Dayal, and the other change being Abhinav Manohar. He sits out, and Sai Sudarshan has come in to Gujarat Titans. So that's the news from the Brabant Stadium. Nikhil, now both these teams, for one, the fortunes have risen, and how from the beginning they've been winning everything. They've just lost one game. They've also found themselves in situations more than a couple of times where they've almost lost a game and they've turned things around on the last ball. That's how good Gujarat Titans have been.
Absolutely. You know, a story no one could have scripted after the auction. Seven matches they've won. If they win today, you know, they're almost through to the playoffs. They'll become the first team who almost, if not mathematically, make it to the playoffs. So Gujarat Titans, a great success story led by the inspirational Hardik Pandya. You know, 6 different players have given man of the match performances in 6 different victories for them. It just shows that individuals, you know, are making their performances count. And if one fails, the other is standing up in every other match. So that it's a phenomenal story for Gujarat Titans. They still don't have, you know, the best batting unit on paper, but their bowling is world class, and you know, they're making it count. So great story led by Hardik Pandya, who no one expected would be so good on the field.
That's right. Like we said, there are things that they can be concerned about on paper, that there are weaknesses on paper, but somebody or the other is always putting their hand up and saying, today I'm going to win you the match, be it David Miller, be it Rahul Tewatia, be it Rashid Khan, who in the last match struggled with the ball, but then with the bat changed things around for the Gujarat Titans. So such has been the story of this team that are at the top of the points table. But what about Royal Challengers Bangalore? Before the tournament began, people said they've got the best bowling lineup, and that bowling lineup has performed. It's the batting that has struggled, and big name players there were not doing well. Now every time Virat Kohli plays in this IPL, the talk will be around whether Virat Kohli is going to be able to get runs. It's so crucial. He averages 16 in the tournament, hasn't seen such a bad phase in the IPL ever, Virat Kohli. But not just that, Nikhil, the other problem, yes, Virat Kohli is a huge concern, but it's also Faf du Plessis, couple of very good scores, hasn't been scoring runs, and Glenn Maxwell in a similar situation. So your top order is struggling, and then you've also not been able to find a stable opener in the beginning. Now, of course, Virat Kohli is opening from the last game, but Anuj Rawat failed. Rajat Patidar, you tried, failed. Nothing seems to be working for them with the bat.
Nothing seems to be working. What has happened is that because Glenn Maxwell and Virat Kohli have failed failed badly in the tournament, especially Virat Kohli, not even one high impact performance. It also putting pressure on Faf du Plessis. Now, Faf du Plessis has played the role of an anchor because he knows he has to, score the maximum number of runs, otherwise the team will collapse. So he's batting at a strike rate of in the late 120s, 128. The top 4 batting average of RCB is the second worst in the tournament, only after KKR, and KKR have been really poor with the bat. So RCB is struggling with the bat, which is shocking, because given the potential caliber of Virat Kohli, Glenn Maxwell and Faf du Plessis. So, this is a real problem for RCB, an age-old problem. Historically they have struggled with this, that, if they have stacked their batting unit with superstars in the top 4, but when they don't fire, they've had problems. In this tournament, Dinesh, Karthik has bailed them out, but the top 4 is the reason why RCB is struggling.
That's right. And if you could just take a look at that playing 11 again, and we talk about their bowling as well, Nikhil, where the bowling has come good, the bowling has been able to restrict the opposition, but it's the batsmen who have not been doing well. How good has Dinesh Karthik been? But again, Dinesh Karthik cannot win you all the matches.
You need runs. The last 2 matches.
You need runs from other batsmen. The 2 standout batsmen in this playing 11 is Shahbaz Ahmed and Dinesh Karthik, and then with the ball, of course, Vanindu Hasaranga, just proving too good for the opposition. He is the leading wicket taker, and then you have Josh Hazelwood just making an impact right as he joined the team. It was, what class can do, and Josh Hazelwood's been fantastic since the time he's come in. He's not played as many matches, but he's made a huge difference in the matches that he's played. 5
matches, 10 wickets, a very low economy rate. Hasaranga has been brilliant, highest wicket taken in the T20 World Cup. Harshal great at the death. Siraj is picking up slowly, started off the tournament being very expensive, but he's improving with every game. But Dinesh Karthik is here the story, and if this continues for RCB in one more match, the top 4 fails, then they have to do something different. Then then why not send Dinesh Karthik at number 3 or 4? I mean, let him score 80, 90. I mean, give him more. Why are you sending him only as a pinch hitter when he is your best batsman?
That's right. Okay, so that is Royal Challengers Bangalore's playing 11. Let's also take a look at the playing 11 of Gujarat Titans. Like we said, 2 changes, one forced one with Yash Dayal. He's sitting out, who's been good for Gujarat Titans, but he has a niggle, so he sits out. But this team is about their bowling and how good they've been, not just in the power plays, but they've controlled, all 3 phases, be it power plays, middle overs or the death overs. Their bowlers have got the maximum wickets in the tournament in the power plays.
Correct.
And that shows, the moment you put the opposition in trouble by picking up quick wickets in the power play, things go haywire from there on. They have relied on their bowlers, and their bowlers have always done well for them.
Absolutely, and the main credit for that goes to Mohammad Shami, the veteran Indian pacer, has the maximum wickets in the power play in the tournament for any team, 8 wickets. Ferguson has done his bit, intimidated the batsman with his raw pace. He bowls a body line sort of length and line, so which is very difficult to play. It's a world class team. Not only the most number of wickets in the power play, also the best economy rate in the death. So covering both the phases of play very well. So Gujarat Titans again bowling, top class bowling, batsmen, individual batsmen standing up in every other match. A great success story.
Okay, talking about the success story, 7 wins and 1 loss in 8 matches. Who would have thought coming into the tournament, Gujarat Titans and the team that they had on paper could manage such a feat, but they've done it and they're looking good. That's been the success story. And as Nikhil was saying, and those numbers will come up on your screens to see how they've been led by a captain who has said that, you know what, I'm going to lead you from the front, I'm going to lead you by example. 305 runs, 350s, economy of 4.66 in power plays, and also to see that whenever, like you said, whenever it shows, whenever he's bowled, he's been very good. Then there is David Miller. Again, the standout thing for Gujarat Titans is that even when batting has been a concern on paper, but somebody or the other has always said, I'm going to do it for you today. David Miller did it in 1 game. Rahul Tewati has done it in 2 games. Rashid Khan in 1 game. So
it's a beautiful. Either it's coincidence or it's synchronization, whatever you want to call it, or it's luck. But if David Miller fails, Rashid Khan Tewatia do it. If they don't perform, Shubman Gill is doing it at the top of the order. If he doesn't perform, Hardik Pandya is doing it. Someone or the other in every match is putting up a very high impact performance, and that is, and the bowling collectively is doing well in every match.
Yes.
So that is the success mantra for Gujarat Titans.
Yes. Also, like we said, Gujarat Titans, the best bowling unit in the tournament. Take a look at that as well. Mohammad Shami, how good has he been since 2020? If you look at his numbers, you'll be surprised he's better than Jasprit Bumrah. 8 wickets in power plays, economy of 6.57. So, difficult to play him. And oppositions, we've seen this in the tournament. How often have we seen Mohammad Shami go in and take a wicket in the first over that he bowls? 4th highest number of wickets since 2020, and that just goes on to show how good he's been since 2020 if his strike rate is better than Jasprit Bumrah. But that's not all. When we say Gujarat Titans having a good bowling unit, they're relentless, because if it's not Shami, then comes in Loki Ferguson with his express pace. So if you're not facing Shami, you're facing Loki Ferguson. And yes, amongst the fastest, he and Umran Malik have a healthy rivalry going on between who will win that fastest delivery of the tournament. Right now, he's topping that, but hopefully Umran Malik will win that for all the Indian fans. But 9 wickets in 8 matches in this IPL, 121 T20 wickets overall. And then that's not all. Then you have
there's more.
Then you have Rashid Khan, who's those 4 overs, they are gold for any captain.
Absolutely.
So
8 wickets, an economy of 7. Year after year, he's done this. First for Sunrisers Hyderabad. He's been slightly short on the wickets column this season, but he's made up for that with his restrictive bowling, with his batting. He has the best bowling average and strike rate in T20 cricket history. As the tournament goes, the heat increases in Bombay and Pune. I expect Rashid Khan to pick more and more wickets and have a more say in the middle overs. So, this is a relentless bowling unit. Mohammad Shami has been phenomenal. Now, the thing about Mohammad Shami also, imagine that he has a better bowling strike rate, which means he's a more threatening bowler with the ball as far as wicket taking is concerned. Absolutely. Than even Jasprit Bumrah. And everyone thinks Bumrah is the best by far. Shami is better in the last 3 seasons. Also, Shami's quality of wickets, if one analyzes that, his quality of wickets, he mostly dismisses batsmen between position 1 and position 6. So all top order wickets and not tail enders. Yeah. That is how good he is. Around 90% of his wickets last 3 seasons are of the top 6. It's a higher percentage than even Bumrah. So Shami is a world-class bowler even in the T20 cricket, even in the IPL.
That's right. Okay. But that's about Mohammad Shami. What about Royal Challengers Bangalore? In complete contrast to how good Gujarat Titans have been, Royal Challengers Bangalore, their fortunes have dipped, especially recently after having bundled out for 68 in their second last game to last game where they were out for 115. Everything that could go wrong with their batting went wrong. And that's where you realize that you could have really strong team on paper, but if they're not able to execute that on the field, then it amounts to nothing. Though it's only a matter of time. They have, when you look at the top order, it has the class, it has the experience, it has the pedigree. Like Sanjay Bangar has been saying, Virat Kohli is 1 innings away from a big total that, he will strike form very soon. So hopefully it'll happen soon, not just for RCB, but for Indian fans, Indian cricket fans. But it's not just Virat Kohli who's struggled. It's been terrible for Virat Kohli's form, but also Glenn Maxwell, 124 runs in 6 matches. That's also a point of concern for them. Though, can RCB's bowling bail them out again, Nikhil, as they've done?
The bowling can do their bit, but if a bowler out for 68 batting first and 115 chasing 140 odd, then the bowlers, you can have 4 Michael Holdings and Muralidharans and Vaughns, you still can't win the match, right? So therefore, RCB, the top 4 have to take some accountability. Virat Kohli needs to find a way to score runs. Don't score them quickly, but score some runs. Faf du Plessis needs to change his attitude. He needs to be a little aggressive. Glenn Maxwell needs to show some from the last time. So as I said, bowling has been bailing them out in every match. Look at Hazelwood, how good he's been. He wasn't available for the first few matches, but 10 wickets in the 5 matches he's played. Strike rate is 11.4. So striking every 12 deliveries, almost less than that.
Yeah.
Then they have Hasaranga, who's been, who's a world-class bowler, world-class leg spinner. Harshal Patel, brilliant in the death. So much variety he has. Yorkers, slower ones. So a really potent bowling unit who's being let down by a poor batting of the top 4. Siraj not at his best. Look at the economy rates around 9.5, but he's picking up. I think as the tournament goes, Siraj will have more of a say.
Okay, so that is Royal Challengers Bangalore's bowling, and it's ironic given that the top 3 teams in that points table, they've got superb bowling lineups, and that's one of the reasons why those 3 teams are doing well, but then their batting is also helping them win. That's the contrast to what is happening with Royal Challengers Bangalore. They've got a very good bowling attack, just not been able to get their batsmen to get enough runs. Okay, now let's talk about the X Factor players then. What can we expect from these 2 teams? 2 players who can change things around, one being Rahul Tewatia. He's already done it in the tournament, Nikhil. And for all those people who said that, oh, he can do it in 1 season, can he do it again? He said, I can do it again, and not once but twice.
Absolutely. 1 season can be luck, but to do it the 2nd season, it shows your pedigree, it shows your class, it shows that you have the skill to hit the ball out of the park and play the role of the finisher. And he has a special ability to hit sixes. I think just like Dinesh, Karthik, he's worked on his skill. He's worked on his skill in the nets. 40 not out of 24 balls under pressure against LSG, and then again 40 not out of 21 deliveries against SRH. I mean, 2 brilliant knocks under pressure. Absolutely phenomenal. He has an outside chance of even making it to the Indian 11 if he plays like this in the role of a finisher. Remember, he also bowls very handy leg spin. So a very, a utility cricketer who's a very dangerous batsman in the lower order.
Okay, so that is Rahul Tewatia. Then if RCB is playing, we've got to talk about Dinesh Karthik being the X factor. How good has he been? Just to see him play high impact knocks one after the other. 216 runs, strike rate of 198, which only gets better in death
overs. Yeah.
So we've talked about this, Nikhil. We can keep talking about how good he's been, but to be able to do it at a point in his career where not too many would have expected him to do this, phenomenal. Just wanting to prove everybody wrong and then proving them wrong.
Absolutely. He's been a revelation. He's done it for India in the past in the Niraj Trophy. My only worry is, now this is worrying, see, he hasn't clicked in the last 2 matches, single digit scores, and those are the matches in which RCB scored 68 and 115.
Yes.
Now, the pressure of the non-performing top 4 is finally showing on Dinesh Karthik. I mean, he's not a machine. He cannot play those kind of knocks in every game.
Sure.
So the top 4 therefore have to perform to get the best out of Dinesh Karthik also.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so that is the X Factor players. Now let's also take a look at some of the key battles that one can expect in this match. Some interesting matchups. So first one being in the power play, Shubman Gill versus Mohammad Siraj. Now also Shubman Gill, Nikhil, 2 scores in the first, in the first half of the campaign. Played very well, but since then hasn't been among the runs. And somewhere that pressure is going to be on him as well, because right now the team's winning and everything's okay when the team's winning.
Correct.
But he's got 2 scores of 84 and 96, since then 7, 13, duck 7 and 22.
Absolutely. So basically he's fielded in 4 matches and two excellent innings. Interestingly, he has dominated Mohammad Siraj, hasn't been dismissed to him, strike rate of 150. So Gill, slightly on a downward slope, but Mohammad Siraj also not started the tournament on a good note. So 2 players are not quite at their best in current form. So it could be a very interesting battle in the power play.
Yeah, the other battle that I think everybody would be really looking forward to is Virat Kohli versus Mohammad Shami, because this battle, Shami wins hands down. 9 innings, 4 dismissals, 46 balls, 62 runs, 135 the strike rate. Again, he may have scored some runs, but to see whether he can do that again. Virat Kohli now opening the innings again with captain Faf du Plessis. You need a big score today from Virat Kohli.
You
We
need a
all
big
do.
score. I'm worried with that head-to-head stack with Mohammad Shami. I think Shami may have the last laugh again today. Shami is in the form of his life. Virat Kohli is, at the complete other end of the spectrum. I'm worried, Shami may, again see the back of Virat Kohli in the power play.
In fact, let's take a look at that. If we've not yet shown that that battle, and you can take a look at this.
9 innings, 4 dismissals. Other things are irrelevant. If you dismissed 4 times in 9 innings, it's basically 46 balls, 4 dismissals, strike rate of 10.
And to think that Shami is now bowling the first over.
And Virat Kohli, he will bowl to Virat Kohli. This is going. Virat Kohli is under the wood here. Let's see what happens.
So Virat Kohli opening the innings again with Faf du Plessis. Now this is, like I said, even in the last game, Virat Kohli opening the innings. That's the last thing one can do. If you're not getting runs from anywhere, you've tried everything. You've tried, changing your approach towards your batting. Nothing seems to be working. So why not get him to open the innings? We talked about this, Nikhil, saying that this could make a difference. Can it make a difference tonight? Today? That's the big question. But he is coming up against somebody who has dismissed him 4 times in 9 innings. So that's Virat Kohli versus Mohammad Shami. And Virat Kohli and Faf du Plessis in the middle right now. Okay, then the last one before we wrap this up in the middle overs is Glenn Maxwell versus Rashid Khan. Now, Glenn Maxwell does well against spinners.
Yes.
In this case, 9 innings, 61 balls, 68 runs, a strike rate of 111.
Rashid Khan has kept him in control because Rashid Khan is not any leg spinner. Rashid Khan is one of the most restrictive leg spinners in the history of T20 cricket. So this, this battle, I won't say has been dominated by Rashid, but he's controlled Maxwell. He's dismissed him once. Maxwell, I think, has played him out. Maxwell is not in form. Rashid is bowling well. Maxwell needs to score some runs. Maybe he'll try to counter-attack in the middle overs. Let's see what happens.
Then in the death overs, Dinesh Karthik versus Loki Ferguson and Tewatia versus Hazelwood.
I'm more interested in Tewatia versus Hazelwood because Tewatia, the way he struck the ball in the last match, Hazelwood is also bowling brilliantly. It's not going to be easy for Tewatia against Hazelwood. Dinesh Karthik against Loki Ferguson also is an interesting contest. Dinesh Karthik is striking at 250 in the death overs. Ferguson bowls with a lot of pace, but a few edges here and there, they can also sail into the stands. So Ferguson versus Dinesh Karthik promises to be a great battle in the death overs.
Okay, then let's do some predictions.
There's no prediction. It's Gujarat Titans. I mean, there is no contest.
Come on, one day you can try to be with RCB.
No, I want to be with RCB, but I'm just not confident with the batting unit right now.
Look at the cynics we find ourselves amidst. Okay, I would say that today Virat Kohli is going to score a 50. I'm going to say that.
All right. Fair
I
enough.
hope it comes out to be correct.
Let me
But
check the
anyway,
score.
Virat Kohli is going to score a 50. Royal Challengers Bangalore will score 170 plus. That's my prediction, and they'll win the game today. Just because Nikhil says Gujarat Titans will win. But that's it then on this special. News9 Sports is what you need to subscribe to if you haven't already to get the latest from the world of sports. The link is in the description box below as well. And also press the bell notification so that, every time we upload a new video, you can get a notification for it. So that's it from Nikhil and me. Goodbye. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.